midnight 8:15 until... Now, lost on a mysterious island, the survivors have more to fear than survival itself.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You killed us all.
Nothing is real!
Namaste, thank you, and good luck.
I think your friends just blew themselves up, brother.
I just saved us all.
I've got to go, and you've got to get as far away from here as possible.
Go where? Stop!
I'm gonna blow it down, Tom.
Who are you people?
We're the good guys, Michael.
You push the button. That's an order.
All we really need to survive is one person who truly loves us.
He's with me. I think we found it.
This is the Lost Initiative from Sky One.
Hello Losties, and welcome to edition 4 of the Lost Initiative from Sky One. I'm Ian Lee, and this week we discuss episode 4, Every Man for Himself, a cracking episode where Sawyer gets put through his paces by Ben and the others, and Desmond gets all experimental with a golf club. As always, we'll be taking your calls on the Lost line and keeping you up to date with what's happening online in the world of Lost. Have a look at our website, sky1.co.uk/lost, and you can email us your comments, theories and observations to lost@sky1.co.uk. This is the official download radio show for fans of Lost in the UK.
Previously on Lost.
What do you want from me?
Patience, Jack.
See these rocks here? You're gonna chop them loose, and you're gonna haul them out of here.
I am not the enemy. We are not the enemy. But if you shoot me, that's exactly what we'll become.
The Lost Initiative with Ian Lee.
I'm joined, as always, by Geeky Tom. Hello.
Hello.
You alright?
Yes.
Going to be a little bit calmer than you were last week?
I'll try my best, but no promises.
And Paul Terry, editor of Lost Magazine. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, very quickly, briefly, your initial reactions to episode 4.
Violent in a very sort of like the confrontations between Pickett and Sawyer and the Colleen crashing and everything. It's kind of in a very sort of high impact way. It's in your face all the time, this episode. So you can't escape it. You can't go and get a cup of tea. You have to just watch it.
Well, hang on, you can't get a cup of tea when Lost's on.
Well, not even when the ads are on. It's just to be discussing the violence, you know.
Briefly, being the key here, your reaction to the episode.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, lovely. Now, the episode is called Every Man for Himself, and the title is from a line delivered by Jack to the Losties in Seasons 2, White Rabbit. Every man for himself is not going to work. If we can't live together, we're all going to die alone. The opening scene, Desmond, who is fast becoming my favourite character, is staring out to sea, looking all ponderous, and he suggests that Claire moves up the beach.
You've got a problem with your roof.
What?
Maybe you should move down the beach just for tonight. And now I can fix it, make some improvements.
That's really nice of you to offer, but Aaron just fell asleep, so I should probably just...
No, I'll be worth it. I promise.
A bit suspicious, Tom. Does Desmond know something?
He always knows something. He's freaking out. The lost members say of the player. It's useful. His comments are useful. If I was on the island, I would like him to give me advice.
You're coming from the science point of view, and you don't believe that he's suddenly got the psychic gift.
I'm starting to get one over. I'm starting to get one over by it.
This is huge. This is huge. Yeah. Tom, not doing the science
I was thinking about it, and there's not a lot I can say. He told them that something was going to happen.
We've got an email from Nelio. Hi, Ian and the team. You're my team. Did you notice Desmond is looking a lot like Jesus? Hurley's t-shirt looks like a robe, but the comment about Locke's big speech kind of made me stop and think. Well, yeah, you mentioned last week, didn't you, that Desmond's looking a bit like Jesus?
Yeah, I did, yeah. No
definitely.
Right, yeah.
Do you think that Nelio is maybe suggesting that Locke is some kind of god or preacher or something, because he's the one delivering the speech, isn't he?
Well, or maybe they'll become disciples of Desmond, the cult of Desmond.
Don't buy into that.
You know there'll be a cult of Desmond.
There's probably a cult of Desmond somewhere. Anyway.
If you want to email us, you can. It's lost@sky1.co.uk. Now, the others have still got Jack locked away, and they're playing him rubbish cartoons. Absolute torture.
Should I talk to Benjamin?
Sorry?
Should I talk to Benjamin? Because I'm starting to think that you're just the person who brings me my food.
You can talk to him all you want, but I won't tell you anything.
You work for him.
No, I don't work for him.
he's in charge.
Well, it doesn't work that way over here, Jack. We make decisions together.
Really? Because when I was holding that broken plate at your neck, he seemed happy to just let you die. I mean, it felt like he made that decision on his own.
You don't know what you're talking about. I don't answer to him.
Juliet, I need you.
Can it wait?
The sub is back. We have a situation. So come with me now.
Now, do you think that Jack is maybe playing the same kind of mind games that Ben was playing when he was being held captive in the hatch, Paul?
He's more relaxed now, isn't he? He's definitely, he sits in the corner when he knows that there's a bang on the door for some food. And I think he's working out that instead of being all pent up and freaking out about trying to get out and see his friends, I think he's thinking, right, I'll use this to my advantage and work out exactly the dynamics between Ben and Juliet and everybody else. I think that's his game plan at the moment. Dr. Jack.
At the end of the clip we've just heard, does Ben say the sub is back?
Yeah, and I missed that the first time round. I watched it, definitely says the sub, which means that, surely that means that the group who went off to see the boat were in a submarine.
Well, that's how they got onto the boat, obviously. They're not just amazing
Well,
swimmers.
you say obviously. I hadn't thought that there was possibly a sub involved.
Well, you don't see a boat, and they're obviously not amazing. Because you said they had some underwater breathing technology that they used, some evolution or something that they learned to breathe underwater.
Did I say that?
I'm sure you said that. Sounds like something you'd say.
That's super
I'd come up with.
yeah.
Okay, so there's a sub potentially around. We may come back to that a bit later. What do we know about Juliet, Tom? The facts.
There's definitely some kind of power struggle going on between her and Ben. I'm quite liking it, actually. How Jack is obviously trying to play her off against Ben by kind of saying all those little comments like...
She says that it's her and Ben that make decisions together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of... You get the impression that Ben is in charge, but the more I see of this, the more I think that actually she's the big boss.
Really?
And Ben is her bitch. This is what I'm beginning to think.
I think it's the other way around, I'm afraid. I do think that Ben is in charge. He gets to get in the little TV camera perv hole. She doesn't.
So he's a glorified security guy, that's it?
Wow, he's planning it.
He was wanding. He was the wanding guy in the hallucination, wasn't he? So maybe he's just security.
There you go.
The hallucination from last week's episode.
And
There's
says,
your evidence.
And he says something later on. We'll come to that later on, I'm sure. But the bit about conning people, and he says, "But we're better." So maybe this whole thing is one massive long con to make them think that he's the man.
I think there's some con going. She's got a file on Jack, hasn't she? We know that much. We don't no idea where they're getting this from. They've got to have some contacts.
Well, right at the beginning they say
the mainland.
When not right at the beginning, halfway through when Sawyer is coming to after being beaten quite ferociously. You hear a kind of after the sky went purple, all our communications are down. We can't get any kind of the comms aren't back up. So it kind of suggests that they've got communication with the
and
outside
there's a bit
world.
of waffle with the paddles, isn't there? She says, they're broken, and we've not been able to fix them since, which suggests that maybe the big power surge knocked out a few things.
Looks a lot like Sarah Shepherd, Jack's ex-wife.
A lot.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a psychological
I'm
play
starting
going
to fall in love with her as well.
Everybody, isn't it? Yeah.
What's happened to Sun? Just because she's not in this episode, you completely abandon your future wife.
And she admits that she's a fertility doctor.
Ooh, interesting.
And she took the bullet out. I mean, that's a fairly far removed skill, surely from
in all the movies. You see all the guys movies. Just pull it out with their fingers, so it's obviously not that difficult.
Well, I know, but wasn't it like here? Was it like in dangerously?
Let's focus on what might be important. The fertility doctor. Did you not hear what I said? Is there not something in that?
We're just moving around.
Sun, could this somehow be connected with Sun?
It could be, but also I think back to the staff and the operation on Claire. Maybe she was in charge of that.
I wonder if she was in there.
We should re-watch it, see if there's any kind of eye panel or by mask thing. Early casting.
Saw a flashback. Good flashback, eh?
Yeah.
Very good flashback.
Another good con.
Very
Maybe you reckon Cassidy has conned Sawyer?
Yeah, I think we meet Cassidy at Phillips again, who is the recently divorced woman that Sawyer conned out of, I think it's $600,000. That was in series 2.
Yeah.
She's come back and she's got a picture of a baby girl named Clementine. I think that's a con. I think she's conning him. She's learnt from the master and is now turning the tables on him, surely.
But I hadn't thought of that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, good work.
Oh, nice one, Tom. You're going along with something I said.
Maybe she's related to the team of, the guy who's running that unit, and maybe that she's conned more money out of him. So basically, that they don't lose any money. She's related to the people who've done the con on Sawyer, so all the money goes back to them.
I'm quite interested in Clementine.
You're your ass there now.
I'm quite interested in.
That's nonsense.
What amazing that Cassidy is, suddenly had Sawyer's child.
It's just a picture of a baby, you know. I'm sure Sawyer is the kind of man that would have protected sex. Of course he would.
Where are you getting that from?
He just strikes me as the type that wouldn't
because he's really sensible and
Tom.
I was just thinking about Clementine, how I think maybe she could come into play at some point.
We've learned that Sawyer's in jail. We didn't know that before, did we? That he'd been in jail.
No, I think we didn't. He might have said a few quips on the island about doing time, but we've not actually seen him be in an institution. So
opens a bank account in Albuquerque in Clementine's name with the earnings from his prison con, and of course, who knows the words to the song "Oh My Darling Clementine"?
Take it away.
I'm not going to sing it. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you were lost and gone forever. Dreadful sorry, Clementine.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't really understand the reference.
It's got the word lost in it, Tom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, obviously.
Sawyer's prison number 840. Munster's number is 248. Yeah. Clementine, name derived from the term clemency, which means to show lenience, mercy, sympathy or pity. Why aren't you buying any of my facts today?
No, they're good. No, they're good. They're just the obvious ones. The numbers are always, in there somewhere.
Let's go to an email.
Okay.
Hi, Ian. Mick in Glasgow. I've listened to the podcast since the start. I love them. You get the idea. I won't do anymore. It's only slightly racist. Okay, we've got 2 points here. One, and feel free to chip in at any point. I've not read this yet. Okay. One, in episode 2, Colleen walks over to Pickett and says, "Hey, Danny," then has an inaudible conversation with him. If you were to watch the scene with subtitles on, you can read the lines, "They have a boat. Ben says to take the Gallagher and retrieve it." As we see, the others don't walk down the pier from the end Jin and Syed are staking out, so they got to the boat by means of the Gallagher. Is that a raft or something? At a stretch, maybe a mini-sub, the kind you might find at Disneyland in the water rides and such. Silly at the end, but the sub is looking more and more likely they've got a sub.
But what does he mean? He's managed to turn on subtitles on a... How's he done that?
I'm assuming Sky have got subtitles on for the...
isn't it? I don't know,
but that's news to me.
Yeah, that's quite clever, isn't it?
What subtitles? It's for deaf people.
Well,
been around for years. Used to be CFAX page 888, but it's different now.
But I thought we weren't supposed to hear the conversation. I don't know what you would put. They're whispering in subtitles, wouldn't you? It's inaudible to keep it secret. So
it's worth checking out.
They've blown the secret.
Okay, Mick's got another
unbelievable.
Point. Have a leaf through the book Prey by Michael Crichton. Oh, not him.
Oh, again.
Even if it's just to see the cover and read the back of the paperback in a shop, it's an okay book, but the premise reminds a Lost fan of one of the biggest Lost mysteries, the smoke monster. The technology in the book behaves like the monster too often to not at least be relevant to the island smoke monster. The makers of Lost have categorically stated that the stuff discussed in the book is not the smoke monster basis. But I don't believe them. If someone hit the nail on the head of the secret monster in your show, would you admit they were right or just bluff and keep stum? Generally, I think the producers and the makers of Lost, when they say something, I kind of go along with it, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to jump in and say that, and so I'm glad he actually said that he's read that, and Damon Lindelof has said many times that the whole nano monster technology thing, he said, would be the least interesting explanation for it. And that's true. It's like if you suddenly say, oh, it's little bots in the sky and running around grabbing people, it's like, well, that's pretty boring.
It's a bit boring. They've got more intelligence than that.
Okay. Michael Crichton did the same story, every year. It's a different title. If you want to email us, keep them brief, but send it to lost@sky1.co.uk. Now, there is a situation in this week's episode. Colleen is rushed into emergency surgery after being shot by Sun. Yes. Sawyer works out what's going on.
Been on this rock long enough to realize they ain't in the business of shooting each other. We did it. Our team.
You smiling?
Damn right I'm smiling. 'Cause we just got our ticket out of here.
Sawyer says our team. So he's always been... I'm watching Series 1 again because I'm a geek and I'm loving it. And he's always been the loner. Is he now starting to think of the Losties as a team, Tom?
Yeah, no, I think he's feeling more part of a team now. He's starting to, soften up a bit. I don't know, feel that maybe that he shouldn't be kind of working against the people that are in his team, rather kind of, working for them. helping them out and stuff.
It's now becoming two groups, isn't it? It's even more so than before, the Losties and the others. And I think that's going to develop even more as the series goes on, as Locke leads a physical army, Desmond leads a psychic army, and goes and whops some psychic ass. It's going to happen,
He's not maybe he can see the future, but
I reckon by the end of series, I reckon that the cliffhanger at the end of series 3 is Desmond about to do something massively amazing and psychic.
He's going to move a cliff with his mind. It's going to be the Force. Yeah, it's going to be that.
Now, Colleen, before she's shot, says, despite what you may think, I'm not the enemy, we are not the enemy, but if you shoot me, that's exactly what we'll become. And it looks like that's happened because after she gets shot, Sawyer just keeps getting the cack kicked out of him. They suddenly turn and become much more aggressive, don't they?
But it's a bit unfair to say, okay, if you do that, if you shoot me right now, that's going to ruin everything and we're not going to be friends anymore. Because they've been like leaving people to hang in the forest and abducting people way before that.
I think it's supposed to show the similarities between the two groups.
And Ben leaves Jack in the operating room with the dead body of Colleen. What's that for? That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Was she still in there? I just thought he was cuffed to the bed.
No, because he kind of says, leave him in there. I think she's under the sheet.
Oh, I didn't spot that. No, I just thought he was chained to oh, God. Yeah.
Okay, now, in this episode, Sawyer gets the fright of his life.
Let me out! Bite down on this, please.
You bite down on it.
It's for the pain.
What? Let me out! No!
God, I hate needles.
No! What are you doing?
No, you have to go through the sternum. The sternum.
No!
Like in the movie.
I know. No! No! 1. What are you doing? 2. What?
So, they pretend to put a pacemaker in Sawyer. This is the one bit of the episode I don't really like. They should have either not done this or extended it over 3 or 4 episodes, I think. And Sawyer's told if his heart rate reaches or approaches 140, his heart will explode. It turns out to be a con. Tom, what do you make of this?
I liked it.
Really?
Yeah. No, that was a brilliant idea. It's a way of keeping him in control. And also, it's, as he said at the end, a way of getting Sawyer's respect. You con man.
This was a rubbish con. You know, you'd know... Wouldn't you, if you had a pacemaker put in or something?
I would like very
frightened. Yeah.
I would like very much to see it happen to you and see if you could not be
right
scared.
Now. Well, even I'm shocked by the aggression in that. The thing is, that pacemakers, we all know, don't work the way that Ben described. Rather than applying a kickstart to the heart when the heart gets excited, pacemakers deliver a small shock during every cardiac cycle to regulate heart rate. It's a delicate procedure, obviously requiring several specialised devices and specific training. And immediately following surgery, most patients, as I said, will be able to feel the device from both the inside and through the skin. So this didn't work for me because I knew that. We're seeing again the theme of psychological experimentation on humans because it is a nasty psychological trick to play on.
But I think that's it. I think he's so terrified that the bite down on this and shoving something in his stern. Maybe he thought it was like a micro one or something like that. But I like the idea of carrying it over to another episode or like 3 more episodes. That would have been pretty cool.
It gets resolved a little bit too quickly.
Why would they lie though? It's something that.
Why would they lie?
Yeah.
But then maybe that's why they've got Sawyer. Maybe that's why they wanted him for some bigger con coming up to get the respect of him.
Okay, lovely. Now, it's interesting you say, why are they all here? And yes, potentially they could be wanting to involve Sawyer in a con. Don't know what they want with Kate. But Jack, when he goes in to save Colleen, it doesn't help her, ultimately, of course, she dies. We see some x-rays of a spine, of spines, of what? Tom, what do you make of that?
Well, yeah, there's some x-rays of some spines.
Thanks. Cheers.
And they hold the camera on it for a moment and really kind of let the viewers take that in because I think it does have some importance just due to the fact that Jack is a spinal surgeon.
He says that, doesn't he? I think.
He mentions it. He goes, I just happen to be a spinal surgeon. What is going on?
Well, that's how Tom does it. Let's hear how Jack does it.
Those are spinal x-rays, and they belong to a man about 40 years old. And whoever he has a very large tumor on his L4 vertebrae. And I just happen to be a spinal surgeon. So, you tell me, Juliet, who am I here to save?
Okay, so this is potentially why they've kidnapped Jack then.
We don't really know, do we? We know he's being kidnapped with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Why take the others? Why just take Jack?
To make him do what he's got. Okay, whose spine is it? Can I throw my 2 pennies into the hat? Does that make sense? I think it's Locke. I think it's Locke's spine.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
No, because he can't walk, can he?
In the real world, he can't walk. So I think...
Why have locks? And that's why, because when they go back to the bunker,
here we go.
He goes, "Yeah, you're a good one. You know, we want to take you back." So maybe they want to go and correct his spine.
Well, that's me and Tom working like a team, and it just shows how powerful we are together.
I know, that was quite effective, wasn't it?
But we can't...
Cutting through the truth there.
Paul, any ideas whose spine it is?
Maybe it's this him that we hear mentioned sometimes. He won't be impressed, or he won't be very happy, and things like that. Maybe it's the big cheese of the Hydra station.
It's a bloke who's about 40 years old. Who's Pickett? Is that his name?
He's quite active though, isn't he? He's sort of beating 10 bells out of.
It's fine.
Okay, so that's the spines. That's one reason why potentially Jack is on the line. Very quickly going back to the pacemaker, a little bit of trivia. The bunny's got number 8 on it, which is potentially, and I read this on the internet in the week actually, a reference to Stephen King's On Writing, in which King describes a caged white rabbit with the number 8 painted on it as an example of the power of words to transmit pictures and ideas. So again, potential.
Yeah, the whole psychology thing.
And my favourite bit in the whole episode was when they're injecting Sawyer in the sternum. And then they through the sternum, like in that movie. Obviously, a Pulp Fiction reference, which is...
I liked him. They were shaking the bunny. Well, that was quite funny.
Oh, dear.
Or White Rabbit, maybe Alice in Wonderland, more referencing, kind of going through the...
that was good
through the surface. Yeah.
Jack hears the whole Sawyer thing on the intercom, or bits of it at least, the broken intercom. Wow, because he's also heard his dead dad saying, let it go, an apparent discussion between the others. How is this working? I don't get the intercom, Tom.
I know, it's crazy stuff. There's obviously some kind of psychological mind games going on, that's what I reckon. There's some person up in a secret room, probably the perv room with all the television
I love you calling it the perv room.
all the television cameras. Maybe they press like the intercom and slowly kind of cut bits in.
I don't think the others I don't know. I don't think the others think that the intercom works. I think there is again some kind of psychic,
like a mole or maybe a mole within their faction.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Geeky Tom, you've been online all week, indulging yourself in the world of Lost Online. What have you found for us?
Well, I thought I'd better go and see the Sky One site.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's
good.
Very good. It's got all sorts of stuff, galleries, which I know that you are...
The picture of Sun on the Sky One website.
Well, you kept on mentioning it, so I thought I'd go and have a look.
Just that little bit of belly that you see. Oh, it's fantastic.
I know, and what I found was really useful, actually. They've got a whole rundown on Season 1, Season 2. Lots of information about the hatches and like logos from the hatches, which I thought was quite a nice roundup.
Anything else?
Yeah, I've got some funny stuff, actually. Have you seen the Sawyer song?
I've been sent quite a few songs. Is it by Weird Al Yankovic?
No, it's just a I don't know, it could be. It's just a random kind of chipmunk high-pitched voice singing about Sawyer. It's very
okay.
amusing.
Do you know where we can go and find that, or do we just have to look?
If you do a Google and just go Sawyer song, it's just at the top. It's worth a look at, actually.
Lovely. And of course, you can visit our website, I guess it is. Are we allowed to say it's our website? Do I get some money from the website if we own it? Can I sell my share? The Sky One website, then go to sky1.co.uk/lost. There's exclusive cast interviews and news. Oh, you see the video of me when I met...
Oh, yeah, you're on it, aren't you?
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. I like the way my name is in the same style as the posters. There's also... it's so sad, but it's true. The Lost Show discussion forum, I noticed that you've posted up there.
I may have done.
Well, you put it as Geeky Tom, so it's...
Yeah, it's me.
It's you.
Yeah, I know, my cover's blown.
I too have posted on there.
Have you?
Yes.
Maybe we should post together.
Back to the show. Now, a brilliant scene that when Pickett's wife dies, goes outside to the bear cages, and he beats Sawyer up. Have a listen to this.
Take it easy! Shut up! You love this guy?
What?
I said, do you love him?
Stop!
Do you love him? Do you love him?
Leave him alone!
Do you love him?
What are you doing? Stop!
You love him?
Yes, I love him! I love him, please.
So Kate says that she loves Sawyer, and then she denies it. What's that all about? Girls.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I've admitted I obviously love you, and it's obviously the truth, but...
Thanks, Tom, but let's talk about the show.
Stick to the show, shall we? Leave that for afters.
Paul!
What I liked about it was all the flashback stuff where, you see the whole Cassidy dynamic and the feelings that he still has, or he's thinking about it a lot, and then he says to one of the prisoners, don't let them get too close, that's when they hurt you. And he looks really hurt when she says, oh, I just said that to stop him beating you up. and he looks really distraught. So Sawyer's not the big hard man.
He's
that
obviously got
he
feelings
is,
for her because he doesn't say, because he's with the threat of they will put a pacemaker in her if he says anything. He doesn't say anything to her. When she climbs out of her cage, Sawyer says, "If you really love me, run." So you kind of,
I've just got a feeling it's going to blow up in his face. I think there is that she's got feelings for Sawyer, but it's not enough. I think he feels a lot more for her, and I think it's going to get messy.
I don't trust
really
Kate.
messy.
I don't trust her at all.
Kate.
I
imagine that she can be a bit selfish.
Yeah,
I think maybe we're going to see that. Yeah. Sawyer screams, of course, every man for himself, and Kate explains her decision to stay by saying, "Live together, die alone."
Harsh. Jack's words, that's that's like saying, no, the other bloke who I quite like, I'll quote him to your face after saying, "I don't love you."
Okay, we've got a caller on the Lost line. It's Joe in Milton Keynes. Hey, Joe.
Hi, you alright?
How's it going? What have you got for us?
Well, I've sort of got this theory that the whole Lost Island and everything is like a Truman Show style experiment.
Oh dear.
And I was just wondering what you think of it. I don't think the people that are dead, that were dead before they came on the island, are actually dead, because we haven't seen any evidence of them being dead. We've seen
them get shot and buried. We've seen people be buried.
The funerals are quite on the island. People from before on the island, like Jack's dad and Emmy. We've seen his corpse, but we don't actually know if it's definitely his corpse. It's just a corpse wearing his clothes.
Now, hang on. In series 1, they find Jack finds his dad, doesn't he?
No, he finds the coffin.
He doesn't actually find his dad. He said he's taking him home, but he doesn't. We don't actually see Jack's dad's actual corpse dead.
Paul, we'll start with you.
Well, the Truman Show thing, that's quite a popular theory, but you're talking about the dead people aren't really dead, so what do you think? Where are they then? Follow that through a little bit.
I think they're part of this whole experiment thing. It's like a Dharma Initiative and everything. There's all like some major cover-up conspiracy. They're trying to test out some psychological things in them, hence the polar bears and things.
Right, but to what end? What if they're not really dead and they're kind of messing with all our sort of...
Could it be some type of punishment for things they've done in their lives?
Tom, your views on Joe's, frankly, rather Bobbins theory?
It is a bit Bobbins, mate. What I was going to say, you're kind of rehashing a few theories that have been quite well known. No offence, but I do like the idea of people who are dead and they're not actually really dead, because you do find the coffin, which is empty, and Yemi's body isn't there. So there is some genius in there somewhere.
Genius is strong. Joe, can I tell you what I think?
Yeah.
Don't be offended, will you?
No,
I like a lot the thing that the people that may have died before arriving on the island could still be alive, and that Jack's dead is potentially still alive. I like those theories. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Think about the Truman Show. Load of old rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. But the dead thing is good. Try again, won't you, Joe?
Yeah, I will do.
Good lad.
Come back next week.
Thanks for that.
Okay, cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
He was a nice... he sounded so disappointed at the end.
Well, I think he thought we'd cracked it.
No,
I think he thought we were going to go, that's it.
He did. He thought he had it then. He
the
really
Truman
did.
Show thing is absolute.
It's awkward, because who's watching it? Who's watching this show then? Is everybody watching it and going, place bets on Jack?
If you want
we
to...
are.
Listen, I'm trying to tell the kids how they can get in touch with us. Come on, so we can get some more Bobbins theories like that. If you want to be on the Lost line, then send an email with your phone number and bits and pieces to lost@sky1.co.uk. Come up with a good theory. I'm going to start getting harsher from now on, I think. If the theories are rubbish, I'm going to start saying...
Or if we've heard them before.
Yeah,
there's a lot of repetition.
Yeah, come on. Come on with something. Come on. Okay, very quickly, this is a massive revelation. It turns out there's another island.
You ever been to Alcatraz? Take the tour? Right now you're standing on a small island roughly twice the size of Alcatraz. And that over there, that's your island. The one you've come to know and love. I just wanted you to know there's nowhere to run.
This blew my mind. Tom, what do you make of this? The other island?
Yeah, well, I didn't predict it. Well, there are the clues, yeah?
Yes.
There are clues to it.
Can I just say that either in last week's show, The Lost Initiative, or the one before that, I did put forward the theory there may be another island.
I think I did, and you just copied me.
No, you didn't. I did.
Well,
listen back to it, it was me.
Yeah, we all do, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Paul, what's your take on the island?
Well, we saw Suburbia in episode 1. We saw the plane separating above the sky, but Suburbia... Isn't that on the main island?
What?
When the camera cranes back, you see that looks like it's on the main island. So maybe the Alcatraz-y one could be just the Hydra station.
Hang on, this is amazing. I'd assumed that the suburbia from episode 1 was on the island they are on now, and that they live on, let's call it island number 2, for want of a better phrase.
Well,
you're saying that?
It might be, but the way that camera pulled back, it looked like that was actually on the main island, and that maybe it's just a Hydra. Maybe we'll find out.
How did you come up with that? You're a genius. Now, if you'd like to email us, you can send an email to lost@sky1.co.uk. That's if you want to call into the show or just share your Lost theories. So let's have a quick recap of what we've learnt from episode 4 in one sentence, Paul.
Sawyer has been conned, but why?
And Tom, in one sentence, what have you learned from this episode?
They live on a little mini island and they've got a submarine called the Gallagher.
Good summary. Nice. Episode 5 of Lost is Sunday at 10 p.m. on Sky 1, with a repeat performance the following Wednesday at 10 p.m, also on Sky 1, and there's another fail-safe repeat every Friday, 9 p.m. on Sky 2. And be our friends, Losties, check out myspace.com/Lost on Sky 1. It sounds like it's a lot of fun. We're back next week looking at episode 5, The Cost of Living, right after it's been on the telly. I'm Iain Lee. Join us again for the next edition of The Lost Initiative, the official download radio show for fans of Lost in the UK. Namaste, you geeks.
The Lost Initiative is a co-ink production for Sky One.